what you want, when you want it, where you want it. This is The Mesh.
Hello and welcome to another episode of I Guess I'll Do It with Pat House, a podcast where I talk about comedy and why we got into this shit in the first place. Today I have a very good buddy of mine. We have a very unique personal connection in a way. Today I have Teresa DeGaetano. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, Pat.
Oh, I'm very happy to have you. You know, we're just going to dive right into it.
Okay.
You are a comedian and you bartend full time.
Yes, I do.
Yep. And that's why I have been at my job 19 years this week.
Wow.
Same place, same place. And I've been doing stand-up for 18 years, so I've pretty much been at both at the exact same time. Mm-hmm. So you are, I love what you post online because I post a lot of shit from my day job, whether it's a photo or making fun of customers. Mm-hmm. I post a lot about my day job, and I also, it's a lot of my act too.
That's what I noticed when we did that show together, and you killed. I mean, it was like bam, bam, bam. So many.
Oh, thank you.
You did so many great jokes about bartending and the restaurant service industry.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we did Valley Forge Casino together. That was a very fun show. That was a very, very fun show. Mm-hmm. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. We're going to talk about all things comedy, and we will absolutely talk about bartending. So first things first, how are you today?
I'm doing well. I a little hungover, Pat. Ooh.
Okay.
I went to the Ranger game last night with it was like a bunch of comics. So
nice.
It was fun. It was like they had tickets, and then my friend and I had tickets, and she's my new comedy friend, and she does cruises. I'm looking to do that. I'm interested in that. So
very cool. Mm-hmm. This is going to sound weird. I don't know your friend, but I know who your friend is because of your Instagram.
Because of my Instagram. Yep, my friend Christina.
Yeah.
You can call her Cruise Tina, if you will.
Very cool.
So we had a good old time.
Very cool. So what were you drinking last night?
Oh, gosh. I drank a lot of beer last night, and then I switched to some vodka sodas, which I do like. I can't drink that much beer anymore. Just not.
Dude. Oh. You and me in the same boat. I can have, I love beer, and I've loved beer, but I can have 3 Coors Lights or Miller Lights, and I feel like I had Thanksgiving dinner.
Yes. I don't know if that
I don't like it.
I know. I was just full sitting there, and then I had to pee every 10 minutes, and then they won't let you in and out, which I learned. It was my first professional hockey game, and they won't let you leave unless the whistle's blowing. So if you leave, you can't come back in until the play is done.
Are they holding you hostage there?
Yeah, it was interesting. I was like, oh, it's like Broadway. It's like, oh, we can't go until the curtain comes down or something. So
I had no idea.
Me neither. And I didn't know that people, the players come out every, I guess it's not called a quarter, but do the 20-minute inning or whatever. Periods. That's what it's called. Periods.
Yeah, 3 20-minute periods, yeah.
But every time they come out, it's like they've never been out before. I was like, we just saw you. Why are we doing a big to-do? You just went in the locker room. It was very interesting to me. It was a whole thing.
Oh, I'm surprised by the hostage situation they have going on there.
I was surprised too, I guess because you can't miss a play because it's so action-packed.
Huh. I wonder if that's a danger thing. Does the puck go out into the stands? Is it for your safety?
I don't think so. I mean, not where we were sitting.
So.
We accidentally got handicap seats.
Accidentally? Okay.
My friend accidentally got handicap seats, but we had so much
I'm in a handicap hotel room right now. I'm fine.
Oh.
I swear to God.
You got a little help in the shower if you need some help. You got that?
Absolutely. Numerous handlebars up in here. Up in 315 in St. Louis, Missouri.
That's where I wanted to ask where you were. I was like, where are you? So
St. Louis, Missouri, and I have had quite the day. Worst turbulence of my life on a plane. I got into an argument with the front desk staff. I saw a bartender quit on the job at O'Hare in Chicago this morning. I'm having quite the day. My hat blew off and blew in a puddle.
Oh
and
my gosh.
it's not even 1:15.
Wow.
Action-packed day.
I feel like we should dive into this bartender quitting because that's right up our alley.
Oh, I took so many notes in my phone. All right, let's start off with this, and
Okay.
then we will get back to you because you're my guest, and I want to talk to you and get your story and all that good stuff. But it really is ironic that you and I are talking today because I had a layover in Chicago, and I got a Jameson and ginger on my layover, and I walk into the airport bar. It was a Goose Island bar at O'Hare, and the bartender, woman, mid-50s, was fucking having a breakdown, and she let the whole entire restaurant know. I swear to God, this is 100% true. She was screaming that she's been trying to get wine glasses for 2 months, and they have not come in yet. They only have 10 wine glasses in the whole bar, and people kept ordering wine. So people are ordering drinks. They're getting busy. She's throwing things. She's breaking glasses. She's screaming at other customers. And then I'll give you the abridged version here. It's a shit show. I watched her take her lanyard off of her neck, hand it to her boss, and walk out, and then other customers started cheering.
Oh my gosh.
I swear to God, this happened to me 3 hours ago. I saw the whole thing with a front row seat. And also, she didn't charge anybody. She just walked off. And so I just left $15 on the bar for my one drink. And I was like, I hope that covers it. And I don't know who, she didn't get the tip. She probably didn't come back.
Oh my gosh. I wonder how long she's worked there.
You know what? By her demeanor, it could have been 2 days or 24 years. I don't know. So it really is ironic because I saw a bartender walk off the job today.
Oh my gosh. I mean, well, I feel like when you were saying that, I could relate. I quit one job because we didn't have any coffee cups. I was there for like 2 weeks working brunch, and it was like I had to be there at 6 a.m. And I was like, where's all the coffee cups? Like, these people are not getting clean coffee cups. And I am not going to say where it was because they own a couple of fancy schmancy places around the country. But it was interesting. And everyone's like, yeah, that's just kind of what happens. We don't have any coffee mugs. I was like, this is unacceptable. Plus, it was like 7 a.m. I was like, I can't do this. It's too early for this. Oh, my.
At the current job that I have, when I first started, like in my early 20s, I used to work 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., and I loved it.
That actually...
No traffic, odd hours. Still have the whole rest of the day. I loved it. And also, I'm a morning person. I'm a psycho. I love the mornings. Maybe not 6:30 per se, but I mean, I'm a morning person.
That's the one thing right now where I work 11 a.m. until like 8:30, kind of by the time I'm done doing the money. And it's like, that's your day. I mean, that's really like, you can't really do anything after. You don't feel like it before. Good luck if you want to work out or something. But yeah.
All right, so let's get into it. We've met a couple times, but I really don't know anything about your backstory. So where are you from originally?
I am from a small town in Pennsylvania near the capital, Harrisburg. So a small town, Carlisle, PA.
Oh my God. No kidding.
Yeah.
Do you do the Harrisburg Comedy Zone?
No, I've never done it, and I want to do it. So I gotta put that out in the universe. Gotta contact somebody. I've got to do it.
I had no idea you were from there.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Did you work in restaurants in Pennsylvania?
Oh, I did. I moved out to Los Angeles for a couple of years when I was 21, and I was just trying to act, and so I worked at some places out there. And when I moved back, I worked at like 6 different restaurants in that area, in the Carlisle area, for like a day. And then I was like, nope, can't do it. And I just didn't go back. Olive Garden was one. There was all these different places, and it became a joke in my family. Like, yeah, Teresa went in for the day, and then she left at lunch and didn't go back. But I worked when I was there, I worked at doing acting shows at the Whitaker Center, the Science Center for kids. So I did that. And then I also worked at a nursing home doing like in the kitchen, like prepping like the snacks. And that actually pays kind of decent. Like the nursing home does. A nice strong hourly wage back in the day.
Nice.
Uh-huh.
Nice. All right. So Carlisle, Pennsylvania, you're bouncing around some local restaurants. What was your interest in stand-up back then?
None. I didn't have any interest until I moved to New York. And I've been here for 15 years. I've been doing stand-up, I want to say about 10 years probably, or maybe a little bit more.
Okay.
But I tried to act here in New York, but it was very challenging because I'm not a great singer or dancer. And, here we are, musical theater. So my brother suggested, he's like, you're really funny. You should write down the stuff that you say and like you should try stand-up. So I took a class. That's what I did. I took a class at the comic strip.
Nice.
And so did a 5-minute set. Oh, I was so nervous. I was so scared.
Based off your brother's recommendation.
Yeah. So I finally...
Oh, that's so cool. Well, were you... Okay, so what was your interest in stand-up at this time? Did you watch stand-up? Did you and him watch stand-up? Did you have any favorite comedians? Because you can't just tell somebody to do stand-up and you're like, okay. You have to have some sort of something in your back pocket.
Well, I have an acting background. And so I had started doing improv here in the city, but it was hard to get the improv troupe together. Everybody had different schedules. And I was like, I'm going solo. But I actually grew up, I loved watching Comic View on BET, 11 p.m. and 11:30. And I would watch that. And I would watch the late, like Jay Leno. I liked Jay Leno more than David Letterman, but I loved his like beginning. I know, but a lot of people don't like Jay Leno.
No, I love them both, but I was more of a Letterman guy. But I mean, they're both incredible at what they did.
Yes. And they're opening monologues, like, the jokes there. And he was just boom, boom. And so that's kind of my background with watching stand-up.
So funny you say BET, because I started in a black comedy club. And for the first 2 years, that's all I knew.
That's great.
Were BET crowd. Oh, it was so much fun. I mean, I learned so much. So much.
Where did you start? Is this outside of Philadelphia?
No, right in Philadelphia at the Laugh House on South Street. LAFF, Laugh House. Yep. And for the first 2 years, yeah. For the first 2 years, that's all I knew. Black crowds, black audiences, mostly. And by mostly, I mean like 98%.
Now, do you think it's easier or harder?
Harder, but it makes you better.
Yes.
Because black crowds, man, you have to say something funny within 10 seconds. Like, you have to. And it made you go out there and say something off the bat and be on your toes more. So I feel like it was an incredible learning experience. And even that was a lifetime ago, I carry a lot of that shit in my back pocket to try to be funny off the bat and then just get into it right away and hit them hard. Yep.
I agree. I did a mic here. I think it's still here I think it's called Mocha here in the city. And there's a guy, Smokey, who runs it. But people will kind of like...
Smokey Suarez?
Yeah, I think that's who it is.
Yep. I've known him forever. And when I did my first Last Comic Standing audition, open call, I stood behind him in line. Right in front of Caroline's all night long.
Woo! Oh my goodness.
I wouldn't expect him to know me in the least, but I know exactly who he is, and I've known about him for a long, long time. Very funny dude.
Yeah. I don't think he would know me either. I just did his room once, and it was funny because they, will boo people off. And the guy in front of me, I'll never forget, just kept doing give it ups. Give it up for yourselves for coming out. Give it up to the ladies. That's all he did.
Lots of pretty ladies here tonight. Look at these gorgeous ladies here.
Oh, and then Smokey came out and he was like, "Give it up for the air in the room. Give it up for," and it was great because I was like, "All this guy is doing," and I was like, I still to this day kind of hate the give it ups. Like, too many give it ups. I just can't. It's a lot of give it ups. Yep.
There was a lot of give it ups and a lot of stool humping.
Oh, yes.
Like, not even stool humping, like full-on stool fucking. And I was like, okay. Okay. All right.
Forgot about the old stool humping.
So you took this comedy class. Did you do a set before then at all, and an open mic at all, or was the class your first foray into it?
The class was my first foray. I had 5 minutes of material that I honed with the DF Sweedler, the Swedes, at the comic strip. Actually, my biggest fear was taking the mic out of the mic stand because I remember he made it such a big deal. No, just leave it in the mic stand. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like,
no, that's horrible advice.
That's
horrible advice.
I will say one of my favorite advice that you can tell with a new comic, when they don't put the mic back in the center of the stage, the mic stand. And since I do a lot of MC stuff, I'm like, why is it all the way over here on stage right? Like, put it back. Let's put it back where it belongs. But I was very nervous, but I got laughs. So that was encouraging for me to keep going.
Nice. Did you tell your friends and family? I mean, your brother obviously knew. Did you have people come out to see you?
I did. I was dating a guy at the time. And he got made fun of in the front row. It was very funny. And he was a big dude and like 6'3", 250. And he kept drinking the girliest drinks. And the host was just ripping on him. And
You're a target. Oh. He did that to himself.
Oh, he did. I was like, order a beer, order something. Then he got a Blue Hawaiian. So we kept calling him Blue Hawaiian after that. And our crew, like I made friends with this girl, Katie, and she's now on TMZ. And we've been friends for 10 years. My friend Regina was our host, and she's the warm-up comic for The View. And
Regina DeGaetano?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so we all kind of started. And then our other friend, Jordan, she works at Bravo now. They're all very successful. I'm just like, when's my time? And we did a show together.
Hear that?
Yeah. We did a show together after that. We produced a show called Girls Gone Funny. And so we would get up and do our jokes. And so I got a little crew from that.
That's very cool. Mm-hmm. So when you did that first set, were you hooked?
Yes, I was. I think so. Mm-hmm. And because I liked performing. And the big thing for me was when I went out for acting auditions, I wasn't thin enough. I wasn't pretty enough. I felt like I wasn't enough, period. But when you're writing your own material in stand-up, you have your own voice. So I enjoyed that. That was liberating for me.
That's the best thing about stand-up is that it's you. Mm-hmm. And that's a two-way street because, like, when you're crushing, they love you. Mm-hmm. But when it's not going well, they don't like you. Yeah. So it is like, it's the highest of the high and it can be the lowest of the low. But no matter what it comes down to, it's you because you are alone on stage.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And in order to get that thrill, you have to take those beatings where they don't like you.
That's true.
It's not unwarranted. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. People always ask that, like the common questions. Well, first of all, do you get heckled? Not often. I don't know. I mean, I don't think. Do you agree with me on that? Like, I don't.
Oh, 100%. And I feel like I had this conversation in my personal life 10 times a week. Yeah. TV and movies make it seem like every night someone yells boo or someone yells you suck. That's so rare. Mm-hmm. A heckle to me. Well, you're in New York City. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's a whole different ball game, but like a heckle to me is so rare. What is commonplace, are people talking in the crowd, and that's distracting, or people being interactive with you. You could say, "Oh, I was just in Florida last week," and someone goes, "Oh, I live there." Well, thank you. Mm-hmm. Like people agreeing with you, and they mean no harm.
Yes.
They just think they're helping, but they mean no harm. Mm-hmm. And that's a fine line between addressing them and shutting them up and being like, shut the fuck up aggressively.
Yes. I also took a class then. I took 2 classes with Jessica Curson. And those were very
A beast. An absolute beast.
And I love her. And she encouraged me like to talk to the audience, which then I have to like reel myself in because I want to talk too much to the audience. But one of the big things she said, and I always took this with me, about you want the audience to like you. Like you want them to want to have a drink with you after the show. Like, because everyone always people love her, they want to hang out with her. But also is that if you're being heckled, like the difference with that, you can never hit harder than what the person hits you because the audience will turn their back on you. And I think men, I'm going to say this, like, because this happens all the time in the city. Someone does that. They're like, oh, hey, I live there or something. And then, if it's a male comic, they're going to be like, okay, shut up, or something. And then it becomes combative where.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, yeah, if you say shut up off the bat, I have to get to the shut up first. I have to break it down. Mm-hmm. I will never go to the shut up first. Man or woman, I just want to know what's happening.
Yep.
And then after the second or third strike, then it's shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm. I think sometimes I notice with men, they go quick to it. And I'm like, well, the audience, they're not trying to be mean. So that's the fine line between the two. But very rarely do I feel like I get heckled. So, but yeah, people are fascinated by it.
I feel like, and I'm an outsider. I've done some stand up in New York, but I feel like in my mind that shit happens in New York a lot more because the crowds are so diverse. It's New York. It's more aggressive. There's more tourists. It seems like more of a free for all. But I know that's not the case, but I have that mentality.
Well, I think too, like one of the places I perform a lot downtown at the Grizzly Pear, a Friday night at 10 o'clock, the audience is going to be rowdy most of the time. Like they're going to be a little drunk. Maybe they try to get into the Comedy Cellar and people act differently where you are. You know, I don't think people are going to do that at the Cellar or at certain places, but they think like, oh, I can act this way. And you're like, okay, calm it down. Like, you know, people are on their phones. That bothers me. Like on their phones and you're right in the front. I'm like, come on now. Like you paid money to be here. Get off your phone.
You know, it's funny you say that. I feel like cell phones in the past couple of years have really been taken out of the comedy clubs. I don't see them that often. Mm-hmm. However, I did a show in the Poconos in March of last year, and a woman pulled a full iPad out and was playing solitaire 4 feet in front of me.
Oh, what did you do? Did you...
The show was going so bad, I couldn't wait to get off stage. I said nothing because that would just... I just wanted to be done.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I was plowing through my time as is. I was probably had about 7 or 8 minutes to go, and this woman clearly could not have cared less. So I was like, "This is hilarious," and I will write this down. But right now, I just want to be done. So I just finished.
Oh my gosh! And she, I mean, but just very oblivious to people.
It wasn't a comedy club. It was at a resort. So like they pay for the resort for the weekend as opposed to paying for the show. So all the activities included or are included rather. So they didn't pay for the show. They paid to be there for the whole weekend. So fuck me.
Yeah. Aww.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. No, it makes for a funny story. But I honestly, now I don't know if New York City is a different beast, but like I feel like 10, 12 years ago, not everybody, a lot of people were on cell phones in the comedy clubs. I really haven't seen that at all in a while. I really feel like people are more conditioned now to just put your phone away and just disconnect for 90 minutes.
It depends on the club. I think that's my thing.
That's
it depends on, it depends on the club. Because certain clubs, I'm like, I don't see it. And certain clubs, I see it all the time. So it varies. And then I do have to call them out. I'm like, are we okay? What are we doing? Do we got to call the babysitter? Is everything okay? Like, you know, I do. I call it out and I'm like, oh, okay. And sometimes they just don't care. And I'm like, okay, like, well, it's rude, but.
Yeah. Do you find that most of them are New Yorkers or people visiting the country or visiting from out of state or what?
I want to say visiting from different like surrounding areas.
Fucking Jersey.
Yeah. I was just thinking it was funny. There were these girls from Connecticut the one time. And the two of them were great. And then her friend right off the bat got like a stank face on. And then she just sat on her phone the entire show. I was emceeing and it was just every single comic. And like, I don't know if she was in like a blackout. She was just that drunk and didn't care. But I was like, oh my gosh. Like, and then you just ignore her and keep going. But
have you ever taken a phone?
No. Have you?
You know what? I want to say years and years and years ago at like an open mic, but like I don't even think. Like I feel like I'm, well, at my best and more confident now than ever. But I feel like I could never do that. I would feel weird.
Yeah,
it's so out of my element to be like, give me this, and then take their phone and read their last text and put it on the stool and be like, you get this when the show's done. I don't feel like I could even do that.
Oh, remember that was like a thing back in the day where it was like, pick up your phone, and then the whole audience would listen to like the conversation or something. Wasn't that on? I would never do that.
I've seen a handful of comics be like, almost like a first grade teacher, be like, you get this back when the show's over. Or, you know, kind of thing. And then they put it on the stool. But no, I could never.
Yeah, I couldn't do that. I'm afraid somebody would want to hit me. And so it would get violent or
like, I'm so anxious about everything. I'd be like, oh, they need that. Like this poor woman, like has a babysitter. Her kids might text her. It's like, I mean, it could be anything. I'd be like, oh, no, they need that phone. So Were you all right? So when you moved to New York City, you were acting and you started taking the stand-up classes. Were you working in restaurants then as well?
Yes, I was. I got my first job hostessing at a place on Madison Avenue, which now is like Park Avenue Wines. But it was like fancy schmancy, 39th and Madison with the white tablecloths and the power lunches. I didn't really fit in, but
Okay,
I
you were hostessing there?
I was hostessing. We had to wear like
Did you have to wear
shoes.
black and white? I was just going to ask. Did you have to wear black and white?
Dresses, dress shoes. I remember I waited on this one businessman and he came in with another woman and I didn't realize it. I was like, oh, great to see you again. Saw you yesterday. Great to see you again. And like got a look because I guess it was the mistress or something. And I was like, I'm just not
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I'm just not going to say anything. But then I made friends with one of the bartenders and like her and I are still very close to this day. And so she met her husband at a party I had at my apartment. So...
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. So, and she actually worked at the comic strip for a while. So she was a waitress at the comic strip. And then I started doing stand up while she worked there.
Now, is that where you did your very first set, the comic strip?
Yes.
Okay. Where was the second one? Do you remember?
Oh, there. Because they would do what DF would do was kind of like bringer shows, but you could just bring one person one week and then two people the next week. And they were Saturdays at 5 p.m. And
that is so lenient for New York City. Oh my God.
It was like Eric Newman. It was Newman. We had our own little Saturday at 5 p.m. crew. Charles McBee was actually in my comedy class. Do you know Charles?
I know that name, but I can't put a face on him.
He's great. He's hilarious. He's now the head writer for the Charlemagne show, Hell of a Week.
No kidding.
Or whatever. So yeah, but Charles was great. So he was in my class and then... so it was there. And then I started going out and doing open mics and I would line up my mics. Like, okay, tonight I'm going to hit this spot and this spot. Like I was very diligent about it. And
well, you dove right in, right?
I did.
Were you hitting numerous spots a night every night?
I would try to on my nights off from then, because then I worked at a craft beer bar. I worked at the Ginger Man for many years, which was... They closed during COVID, but it was a very successful craft beer bar. So then I would go out and do my mics if I worked the day shift and try to do like 2 or 3 a night.
Oh, gee, that's so awesome.
Mm-hmm. So we had our little crew at 4 p.m. I ran into some of the guys last night, actually. We're like, oh my gosh, the 4 p.m. open mic that we would go to. And a lot of the places have shut down, you know, the bar business and stuff. So,
of course, especially since COVID, it's a whole different ballgame, whole different world.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then bar shows. So that was kind of my thing is like you do open mics and then people from the open mic, oh, hey, I run a bar show. And so I did that for a long time.
That's awesome. New York City, like, man, I tried to do it for a year, 2011. Mm-hmm. And like, it was just, I mean, I didn't capitalize on it the way I should have because I didn't know what I was doing. But it is amazing how, like, just how much you can get up in one night.
It's true. The one thing, though, that's the downfall is I'm experiencing this now. We don't get a lot of time. So it's like you'll do an 8-minute set, a 10-minute set. You're not getting in a 25, 30, 40-minute set anywhere. So like for me, I want to put together my material to do cruises. So I'm trying to figure out, okay, how can I get some long sets in? Because that's challenging.
Yeah. And also cruises is a whole different ballgame because you have... I mean, it's got to be clean for unless it's like a dirty show. But not only that, but like alongside being clean, there's people in the crowd who are 7 years old and people who are 90.
Yes.
So it's having material that crosses that gamut of that age range, which blows my mind. Some comics can do it, and I certainly cannot.
Well, I was trying to because I took the cruise in the middle of January, so I was like, oh, this is cool. Like you get paid to travel, you're performing. And so now I'm like, hey, what material can I do that's like cleaner material? My stuff's not that dirty, but like what would classify as like clean material? So I was like, let's talk about my childhood. Let's talk about like, I don't know. So I'm working on it.
Absolutely. That's a great goal to work towards, man. So my parents cruised a lot and I've been on a bunch of cruises with them. And it is amazing how many times I have been on vacation with my parents, and I've known the comic on board.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh no, it was funny because I had my own room and everything, and then the other comic went to my open mic a handful of times. And he's like, oh, I know you. And I was like, oh, I know you too. So we all had dinner the one night, which was really fun. So we were just, talking shop. It was Lucas Bond. And he's out of Virginia area. And then I went to see his show. I saw his clean show. He was great. And so I was like, oh, I like how we did this and did that. And so, yeah.
Yeah. That's happened numerous times. I mean, Tom Cotter.
Oh, mm-hmm.
I was on a cruise where Tom Cotter was the comic. David Crow, who's out of Seattle or Spokane area. Thea Vidal. She's amazing.
Who is it?
That's happened a bunch of times. Thea Vidal.
Okay, I'm going to have to look her up.
Oh, yeah. Thea's great. She was. She came out of Texas in the, I guess, early 80s. Oh, shit. You got me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. She started with. She came up with like Bill Hicks and that whole crew way back when out of Texas.
Oh wow.
And it's just so funny because I'm on vacation, and I'm like, all right, no bartending, no stand up. I'm on vacation, and then I know the comic on the cruise ship, and then we're having lunch every day, and I'm talking shop, and I couldn't be happier.
Oh, that's
because
great.
that's where I need to be.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I'm on vacation, I will find the fucking comic in the middle of the ocean, and we will have lunch 3 of the 7 days of the cruise. Yep.
Well, it was so funny because I said to Christina, because people kept coming up to her, and I was like, you're a cruise celebrity. Like, everyone was like, oh my God, it's the comedian.
Cruise celebrity,
cruise celebrity. Oh, I love it. And she's so lovable, and so she was great. And just being on the cruise, though, I was like, there's a lot of material just being on the cruise itself that is very interesting to me. So, and I know like sometimes I don't want to say cruise ship comics, but I think you do have to talk about the cruise. It's like
you have to.
Yeah.
It's almost like being in a different city. If you're doing a show in fucking Cincinnati, open up with a minute about being in Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're on a cruise ship, it's such a great way to start the show because you're all in this shared experience in this small environment. So it's like a gimme if you can get 2 or 3 killer jokes right off the bat.
Mm-hmm. With just the cruise ship itself, like that part, I was like, oh my gosh, just for me, things that I had no idea, like, existed on a cruise, like someone that comes and cleans your room multiple times a day. Like, I thought that was so cool. But then I came, I saw him in person and I was immediately embarrassed. Like, oh my God, my room is a mess and he was cleaning my room. And just like, you don't expect to come like face to face with that person and just little things.
This guy knows I'm a dirtball.
I know. I was like, oh my God, my Spanx. I came home drunk that night. My Spanx were everywhere. My bra was everywhere. And I was like, I'm so sorry, Jose. And I gave him $20. I was like, oh God, like I just felt shame, like a walk of shame when I shouldn't. But, there was a lot of alcohol on those cruise ships. Woo! It's just, I got the drink package. So yeah,
All right, we can talk about this for a second. So, on celebrity cruises and Royal Caribbean, I got the drink package, and not a problem. I was on a Carnival cruise one time, and they cap you at 15 drinks a day, and I was astonished at how quickly I hit the 15 in one day. Like, I'm talking like before 2 p.m., I'm like, come on. And then I'm borrowing a friend's card and like all sorts of shit.
Oh my gosh. Well, I had said, okay, so I took Norwegian and it's so true. I've made a joke about this now after I've come back where I'm like, you think 15 drinks a day, like on Carnival, you're like, that's a lot of drinks. I'm like, very doable. It's very easy to do if you put your mind to it.
Doable before noon.
Yes. And okay, I got a little shamed because I came back from the cruise and I go to a hot yoga studio and they've got like hot hit classes. I'm going to do one this evening. And I came back and I didn't have my land legs back. I was a little wobbly. But I was like, let me go to this class. And I kept falling over. Like, I was struggling. And I told the teacher in the locker room, I was like, I'm sorry, I just got off a cruise. And also a lot of drinks were on the cruise. And I mentioned the 15 drinks. And this one woman was like, you drink 15 drinks a day? I was like, well, no. But I mean, it's a limit. But like, so I felt shamed. I felt very shamed. And then she brought it up again the next day. But she was like, oh, how are you feeling? I was like, oh, much better. Thank you for asking. And then she's like, this girl drank 15 drinks a day. I was like, hold up. You need to calm down here, okay? Enough with the shaming on the 15 drinks, okay? It's and then you got to steal someone's room key. Yep, because, Mm-hmm.
Guilty. We had a system.
Yep.
Me and my friends, yeah.
Oh, that's great. We made friends with this other family. And so one night we were all doing a lot of shots. And so they were like, it's 2 drinks per card. So then we gave them 5 room keys. But it's so cool. Then you get off the ship and you're like, do you accept my room key? No. Okay. I have to pay for this now. Oh man. Oh. It's just like you're in a bubble.
Yeah. It's a whole different ball game. What's your go-to shot?
Oh, they were doing green tea shots that night. So we all did that. I do tequila. I'll do a tequila shot. So,
okay. I'm coming around to tequila.
Okay. You said you like Jameson and ginger. That's a classic. That's
Jameson.
A classic bartender drink.
I'm probably in the minority here, but I love Jaeger. I love Jaeger.
I could see that. See, the bar I work at now is a craft beer bar as well. And we don't have liquor. So we have a thing called Underberg that classifies because it's not distilled. And that has very much like a Jaeger taste to it.
Okay. I'm down with that.
Like
I also love car bombs.
Ah, look at you. Just dusting off the old shots. And bombing. Yeah, I haven't done a car bomb in a long time.
Yeah, me neither. It's been like probably 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about bartending and stand-up because this is totally my world and has been my world for the past 18 or 19 years. How much of your act that you do on stage comes from bartending?
A decent amount. I got to do a show recently, and I'm doing it again, I believe February 20th. It's an industry show on Monday nights, and then people from Whistle Pig will be there. And I was so excited because I did
great bourbon.
Oh, yeah. I did all my restaurant bartending jokes, and I thought that's what all the comics were going to do. No, barely anybody did anything. So I was like, I'm doing 10 minutes on just bartending, and I have more material than that. But that was
good.
Nice.
Well, that also makes you stand out too. So good that they didn't do that stuff.
Oh, I was very happy because there's certain jokes that I don't think the mainstream population would understand, but the bartenders got it. Like during COVID, 25% capacity. We had to count the heads of everyone in New York City. Like that was our thing. So we allowed 18 people in. So I'd be counting 1, 2, 3, and someone would order a drink. I'm like, not now, I'm counting. Let's start again. And like the bartenders all understood that because they experienced that. So there was just some very specific things. So,
No, that's great because I found that over the years, any city, anywhere, men and women of all ages love the restaurant stuff because they've been there. They've bartended, they served, or their kids bartender served. So like, I love, no matter where I go, I love when people specifically love the restaurant stuff because I know those are my people.
You have a joke that I still remember. When someone was asking, it was too hot in here, or it was too cold outside, then you're like, why don't you
That was during COVID.
Yeah. And you said, well, why don't you just go the fuck home? I don't know if you said fuck, but it's how, and you said it like that.
Oh, no, I did.
You did? Okay. And it was
I could still see her face.
Oh, yes, because you can. Because I've had people.
It's too hot to sit inside.
Yes.
No, sorry. It's too hot to sit outside, but I don't feel comfortable sitting inside. What do I do? And I was like, go the fuck home.
Yes. I had girls. We had a bunch of tables outside. We were allowed to close the side street down by my bar, which was great for business. And they moved the table from one side to another in front of a fire hydrant. And I was like, girls, I'm sorry, you can't move the table here, especially. They're like, well, we want to be in the sun. What should we do? I'm like, well, I can't move the sun. Like, just what people say is so...
Dude, it's so okay. The sun, where I work has a back patio, and people will move the tables as well. It's not really that much of a big deal there because there's no fire hydrants. It doesn't really matter. But it's amazing how people will just alter the floor plan to their liking, and people are like, "Well, it's shady over here." I'm like, I don't control the solar system.
Yes,
and also people complain about bugs. Years ago, a lady was like, "There's a lot of bees out here." I'm like, "You're fucking outside."
You're like, I can't.
What are you? You're on their turf.
There's so many things just dealing with the public that people are surprised. Like I do my tales from the tables.
We're going to get to that, but yep, go ahead.
But just stuff that I'm like, I don't know if it's stupid, but it happens. So that's why I'm like, just so much stupid stuff happens like this. We got the floors done at the bar. And so we took out a table. The manager was like, we're going to take out this table so there's more room for people in the middle. People have been asking me left and right, how do you feel about that table missing? Like, how do you feel? What? Who cares? What a dumb, like, people are just, I don't know. Sometimes I think people are just stupid. I guess that's the bottom line.
Sometimes, all the time. I have a joke about this, but it's also true. Like, not a single day goes by where I don't write something down.
Yeah.
Whether I use it on stage or not is regardless, but not a single day goes by where I probably don't write at least 2 things down of something that happened that day.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing.
It's just,
and it's not me. It's not you. It's them.
Yeah, it's just it's so true. It's just, and I do think audiences do really relate to it because everyone has gone to a restaurant, even if you've never worked at one. You know, you've gone out, you go out to eat, you know, are familiar with the scene. So
yeah, you understand kind of what's taking place around you.
Mm-hmm. And some people are shocked. Like, they're like, did someone really say that to you? Or like, did someone really ask that? I'm like, oh yeah, all the time.
Yes,
So,
all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. I feel like it's such a unique job. Like, I mean, we're going back like, my God, maybe even 20 years for this joke, but Daniel Tosh said it should be mandatory for everybody to work in the restaurant industry for 2 or 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, fucking absolutely right.
Mm-hmm. I remember
absolutely
that bit. Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's a great album. His first album, that's so funny.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's so true. And like, when I talk about this stuff on stage, just what you said, people are like, did that really happen? And I'm like, yes.
Yes.
People are fucking out of their minds. And they think that like bartenders or servers are either servants or just, it's not a respectable job. And some of the shit that has been said or done to us is truly, truly astonishing.
It really is. One of the questions people ask me a lot is, well, what else do you do? Now, most of the people know I do stand up, but it's such a like, what else do you do? Why can't I just do this? Like, well, are you in school? Like, what else do you do besides this? Like, why can't I just do this for a living if that's what I want to do? It's a very lucrative job.
Yes. What else do you do? Make a living here? I've been here 19 years. If it sucked, I would have jumped ship.
Yep, exactly.
Do you do a lot of your regulars know that you do stand-up? Do you advertise it?
They know. They follow me on social media, so they do know, and they know about my shows. This is interesting. I was talking about this. I've tried to talk about it in my set now. With like, I don't necessarily like telling people I don't know that I do stand-up. I worked with someone at a bar a handful of years ago, and she loved to tell everybody that she's like, oh, but Teresa also does stand-up, because I don't necessarily like that, because then it turns into a podcast. It's like, oh.
Dude, my stomach hurts just hearing that. I feel that in my chest.
Oh, who are your influences? Oh my gosh, I have a weird question for you, but who are your favorite comics? First of all, that's not a weird question. And now, like, I'm just trying to serve other people drinks, and now, like, people are fascinated by it.
I'm at work.
Yeah.
This is exactly why I brought this up. So go ahead and continue, and then I'll tag on, because there's a reason why I asked you this. So
that, and
go
then,
ahead with your...
Oh, yeah. Then they're like, well, can you tell me a joke? Well, no, it's not a knock joke. Like, you know, knock, who's their annoying customer, you. That's who you, it's you. Or like, do you have a team of writers? That one makes me laugh. Because they're like, Jimmy Fallon like has writers too. Who writes your material? Well, me.
Who writes your jokes?
Me. I write my jokes. So I don't necessarily like to tell the non-stand-up people or non-regular customers, but all the regulars know. I will say, though, because you work daytimes too, the daytime bartender, you really have to have a personality, because it's different than if you're working a nighttime shift and you're just kind of pouring drinks and going. Like, I'm tired after these 9-hour shifts talking to people. I mean, I'm giving them the best Teresa. I come in, I got to get my coffee. I got to get caffeinated. Like, I get the whole bar talking, like, and it's because there's not that many people that come in right now during the day, because
you're holding court. You're almost
yes.
doing a set, but you're not doing stand up. You're wrangling these animals, and
yes.
you're the ringleader. You're the entertainment.
Yes, and that is true. I hate to say that, but I'm very good at that. So, not to toot my own horn, but I'm like, get the whole bar talking about something. I'm like, there we go. And that makes my day go by quicker too, because I've got some customers that I'm like, oh, I'm so glad they came in today, because it's someone to talk to. So,
it's such a fine line, because I Okay, so I've been at my job almost 20 years. So a lot of people know, but I hate when other people dime me out. Like, I will be getting my ass kicked. I'm running my own food. There's service bar. The whole bar is full. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. A keg needs to be changed. And then someone's like, oh, Pat does stand up. And now I look like an asshole. And they're like, so you do comedy? And I'm like, yeah. Well, what do you talk about? Like, what do you do? And I'm busy. And now I'm the asshole because I can't explain myself. And I don't want to explain myself, but I feel like such a piece of shit. And I'm embarrassed because I didn't spring this on me. Oh, I hate it. I hate everything about it. I keep the two worlds so totally separate to the best I can. This is really a source of contention every single day I'm at work.
The problem is too, like, I have written some of my tales from the tables about specific customers that I do love. And then if they start following me, I'm like, ooh, that one was about you. But
cross that line as well.
Yep, I was like, cross that when we get to it. Yeah, and there's always those customers that can't read the room. Like, you're busy, I can't talk about this, but they're not. They're the same people that order from you when your back is to them. And they're like, I'm just going to go. Oh, I can't stand that. That's a big pet peeve of mine. I cannot. That drives me crazy.
That or being snapped at or whistled at, which is very rare. That I can say with certainty that does not happen to me often, but every now and then I'll get a snap or a whistle, and holy fucking shit, do I become a different person immediately.
Oh, the one time someone snapped at me, I snapped at them the whole way over. I was like, what do you need? And I just kept doing this while they were ordering because I was like, what is, like, who? And when I get fired up.
I love it.
I do. I reamed out this guy one night. When my hand goes in the air like that, he kept waving like this, and he was drunk and I was like, what is it? Are you choking? Are you on fire? No, you're fine. Why don't you calm down and speak to me like I'm a person or whatever? And all my coworkers were just like, ooh, like, and I was like, no, stop. Like, yeah. So
waving is third in command behind snapping or whistling. Waving is right behind them. Yeah. Waving is the bronze medal of being a piece of shit at the bar.
And it was funny last night, one of the people I was out with, he did this to the bartender, and I was like, and he's like, I don't think she got my order. I was like, yeah, because you yelled burger when she was walking away. No, she never got your order. So I was kind of like doing a little cringe.
All right, let me ask you this. This is something I'm working on right now. You just said burger, so you just took me in a different direction. Do you ever take somebody's order and they get like a burger or red meat, a steak, and then you ask them how they want that cooked, and they're fucking frazzled?
Oh, see, we don't.
This
have
happens
burgers,
all the time. Oh, okay.
But but they don't understand like rare, medium rare. They don't.
Dude, this happens at least once a week. All right, of the burger, please. Okay, how do you want that cooked? And then they fucking freeze like I handed them like a NASA entrance exam. I'm like, okay, you're 55 years old. Clearly you like burgers. Do you like it when it's pink, or do you want it like a hockey puck? Like, tell me where... This happens to, I swear to God, this happens to me once a week. You ask people how they want the red meat cooked, and their mind goes to mush.
Well, we laugh so hard in my family because my parents were in the livestock business for 40 years. So they would get a steer butchered, and we would have a whole freezer of meat, and they would have these great steaks, the Delmonico's, but my dad would cook them, and they were like hockey pucks. The burgers were like hockey pucks. We still joke about this. It's so well done that you're like, oh my gosh. So that I laughed so hard about that because we're like, can you take it off? And he's like, T, it's mooing. I was like, yeah, but it's delicious that way. You burn the hell out of it, Dad. I guess people just haven't ever experienced that. That's interesting to me that no one's ever asked them how their burger's cooked. Well, it's like when people don't know anything about beer. I'm surprised that grown men they're like, oh, is it like a Guinness? Oh, is Guinness dark? I'm like, what? Like they're very, very surprised at that. Or when you recommend something and you're like, okay, we don't have Guinness, but I recommend this. Oh, is it similar to Guinness? No, it's not. I wouldn't recommend it. Yes, it's similar to Guinness. Like certain things people ask, like, or a lot of times then they'll take the recommendation of like the bar hero. That was a new one this week. The customer that just like answers all the questions for the bartender. Oh. That just turns around.
I have them too.
Oh yeah. Or they'll take the recommendation for me over a man. Like, I don't know what I'm talking about. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Okay. Oh, your recommendation was good. Yeah, I know. I've been doing this for 15 years in beer. Yes. I know what I'm talking about, but
Dude, I hear you 150%. So let's talk about Tales from the Tables for a second. How long have you been doing that? Tales from the Tables, for the listeners, is a segment, I guess call it a segment, or a recurring thing Teresa does on her Instagram or social media where she talks about her day job. And it's Tales from the Tables, which is a great name.
Thank you. Thank you.
How long have you been doing that?
Probably about 8 years. It started when I was working a lot, bartending, and I would see on like Facebook, because it started on Facebook, and I would write it like a couple sentences, hashtag Tales from the Tables. And I would see like all the comics were out doing X, Y, and Z. But I'm like, well, I made $400 bartending that night or serving. But I was like, well, I still need to be creative. So I would just write something funny that happened, or something that wasn't necessarily funny, but it was like, oh, that was touching, or like nice, or something,
something important, something that stood out.
Yep. And so then now with this whole social media era with, the reels and the face. So now I just do it close up to my face, and I film it at work by table B. It has the best lighting before customers get there. Sometimes I'll film it and someone like comes in. I'm like, damn it, I was filming. And so
you're like, I said it the way I wanted it to. Yes. I nailed it.
I know. And I get excited when I'm like, let me bang it out like at 11:25 before we open at 11:30. And and now I do that and I post it, and it's just me to camera, like something funny that happened at work. So yeah.
I love it.
Thank you.
Because I would say half of my Facebook posts just come from work. Like, I mean, it's not even necessarily like my stand-up per se, or like shit going about like my everyday life. It's either like, hey, I'm performing here, or this fucking guy just asked me the dumbest question at my work.
Mm-hmm.
And I love it. Tales from the Tables is so funny. Are you, do you ever think about like a book idea or anything with it?
I have, and I would like to, like a little table read, or a little, I don't know. I've thought about doing a podcast too, but as we've learned, I'm not very good like with the tech stuff. So it's that I would have to have somebody do all of that, that portion of it. So, but yeah,
I know a very good guy.
I know. Yes. Hello, Andrew. So yeah, what I could do with that, and so I would like to do something with it, I guess, is my answer. Just
very
not
cool.
sure what. Mm-hmm. So.
All right, I'm gonna let you go here in a second. Okay. I love a good horror story. Oh. Give me a story of a show that was so bad that your arm hair stands up when you think about it.
Oh my goodness. Oh gosh. I'm sure that there's some. Oh gosh. Okay. Well, there was one show that I did with 2 other comics, and it was was it a VFW? And we had to be clean, and it was in a gymnasium.
Of all spots.
It was a Sunday afternoon, and it was so bad. It was just, everyone just looked at it. They did not like me. It was just really, really bad. And then we ate after, and then I beelined out of it. It was just really, yeah. I would say that I don't have that many bad experiences. I know that sounds awful, like horror stories.
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah, with stand-up.
You need some beatings, man.
I know. Just like awful. I'm sure. I mean, there's been numerous ones where I know, like, oh, well, that I bombed. This was bad. Or, but then I get to a point that I don't even care. It's not that I don't care, but it's like, okay,
no, of course. It's a different level of confidence where shit doesn't shake you anymore.
Yes.
And even if something goes horrifically wrong, you don't dwell on it like you would have your first couple years of stand-up. Be like, all right, that sucked. Fuck those people.
You know what I did do? This happened 2 weeks ago, and I felt really bad about it, Kat. Oh, I felt so bad. Like,
bring it on.
Oh, God. Like, I'm a good person, and I really, truly, like, I want people to have fun at the show. I don't want to make anyone...
That's how a good story starts.
Oh, God. I never want anyone to feel bad, and I was coming off a high. I did the Shtick a Pole in It show. It was fantastic. If you ever do that, it's pole dancing and stand-up comedy. But I really felt good about my set. So it was my second set of the night. And I was at the Grizzly Pear downtown, and I was just doing a set, but I was talking about Nashville, how I went to Nashville, and people started clapping. And I was like, ooh, and this is a problem. I see something, and then I say something right away. A guy was clapping like this, and I said, oh, okay, the one shoulder clap. Oh, are you all right? Like, having a heart attack? Are you okay over there? And then I realized that's because he had a small hand. So he can't clap with two hands because he's got a small one here. So this is how he claps. And I called him out, and then I realized he had a small hand, and I said, oh, I'm a dick. Oh, God, I'm so sorry. Okay, high five you in the air. You're lovely. Okay, let's continue. And I felt so bad. I was like, oh, no. And so now I know if someone claps with one hand, they probably have a small hand. And so
he was giving you maximum clap for what he could physically do.
That's so bad. And I was like, oh my gosh, like common mistake. I've done little things like that too that have happened where I'm like, oh, okay, like things that I don't mean, but then I didn't realize it. And then it was like too late. And I left after my set, but I really wanted to apologize. Like, I'm really sorry about that, sir. So
did he say anything at all? Did you guys have any banter back and forth or?
No, I was like, I did. Cause he said he was like from Nashville. I was like, see, people from Nashville are so nice. Cause that was my whole point. How people down South are like really nice and they like talk in elevators. And that's not something we do in New York.
Or Philadelphia. That's definitely a Southern thing.
Oh, people are loving your Eagles though up here. People were really rooting for the Eagles. So
Go Birds.
Go Bird. Yeah. And I'm a Steeler fan, but I will root for you. I will root for you guys there. So I guess that's my like horror story of me saying something or like inappropriate that I'm like, oh, I feel bad. Like that kind of thing.
I mean, the small hand thing, that's fantastic. All right. Thank you for being here. Plug all your socials real quick. Yeah, plug all your socials. I'm such a mush mouth. I've been up since like 3:50. I'm exhausted.
I mean, you had
and
a
I'm
day.
a mush mouth in the first place.
I mean, yeah. Well, you watched somebody quit their job. You had hotel issues. There's a lot going on.
That was the highlight of my day.
So
no offense. That's second to
no.
this.
No,
Thank
I've
you.
walked out
This
of
is number
jobs.
one.
Yeah, I've walked out of restaurant jobs. So I felt her. I did.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah. Like Saturday night,
All right.
8 p.m. Yeah. But not the one I'm at now. But my handles are at Teresa DeGaetano. TeresaDegaetano. If you do Teresa Deg, I usually will come up. So
Absolutely.
that's all of them. They're all the same.
Awesome. And make sure you watch Tales from the Tables on all the socials.
Well, thank you, Pat. Thank you so much for having me.
No, thank you for being here. This was fantastic. We're on the same page, man. We are in both worlds together. So thank you for being here. Talk about it, and we will do it again.
Excellent.
Big hand for Teresa.
Thank you, Pat. Woo!